Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Hi, Bubba. How are you? You're the first one in the house. Nice to see you, buddy. We're going to see who shows up tonight. Uh, Been bouncing back and forth between Bumble and here, and I guess be doing something on Bumble soon. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, have you noticed anything on my screen? Ha ha. See if anybody notices changes. But anyway, I made some changes. Hi, Mike, 1176. How are you doing? I want to talk about what everybody's talking about. Oh my gosh, the Grim Reaper showed up at the coronation. Hi, Linda Marie. Hi, John. How are you? I want to talk about a lot of stuff. I was going to put perfidy in my title, but I didn't. I can talk about it anytime. We can talk about fraud. A lot of this stuff is we say, oh, it's evil and satanic. Well, so is fraud, and it's a lot more human. It takes a lot of the scariness out of it. When people say, oh, these dark powers, when it gets boiled right down to it's just men and women with evil intent, conniving, conning, scamming their way, joining a group that is nothing but a fraud. A group or groups. No power, no mystical, supernatural Voldemort power with these people. I was thinking about that today. All that does is increase the fear and the anxiety. No, we have to look at them like something stuck to the bottom of our shoe. There's nothing to scare me. And then nothing to scare you all, for that matter. They don't have any powers, supernatural powers, but they do get themselves in situations where they can do what they're doing to Bolsonaro's, menace his 12-year-old, right? That's the kind of stuff we got to worry about when we let ourselves and our neighbors be conned and defrauded. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? Ingrid, Roberto. Hi, Nikki. Everybody's rolling in. That's good. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. If I left anybody out, I apologize. Y'all know some difference on my broadcast? Some I thought I'd try out. Hi, Diane. Hi, Adam. Quilt. Sharon. Everybody's rolling in. But anyway, Jersey, we get a bunch of fraudsters, and I wouldn't let yourself go into. It gives them power when you think they have some kind of spiritual power. Their actions and their vapid nature. It reduces their spiritual power. If they have any spiritual power, it's reduced. Okay, when they go in the dark, they can't see either. They can't see the truth either. They just think they know the truth. Let them sit in the dark. If they're not reprobate, come on out of the dark into the light. Join us. It's nice in the light. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Marla. Georgia. Miss Mendersu. I'm going to go back up through here. I don't think I missed anybody. Camperman. He's putting everybody in one pile. Ha ha. Carol Z. How are you? Brighter day. So anyway, let me see if anybody noticed what's different about my broadcast. No, I don't see where anybody got it. What's different about my broadcast, folks? It's not like I worked real hard on it or anything. B-Dog. Well, nobody got it. Nobody got it. I had enough. I changed my name. Oh, there you go. Linda Marie got it. I was going to say, I changed my name. I had enough of my name. No, I didn't change it. I just added Mountain Man News. That's what we are. We knew. So anyway, so how many people saw they call it the Grim Reaper? They were all creeped out. So, oh my gosh, what was that? Oh, and people, like I say, they give away their own strength and their own spiritual power. I was listening to LT on, and I got to be careful. And the rest of it is we know. And it's so strange, how a lot of times we just hit on the same theme. He said, after I watched some of the videos that's been coming out, I had to give my brain a bath. And that was exactly what we were talking about last night. Don't get yourself in that state. It's hard not to, because the stuff gets shoved in our faces all the time. And this business with the Kingman crowned, first time in 70 years. And then we get a lot of the people who have built the industry of talking about the power of the monarchy, the evil secret societies, which we know they all are. I'm talking about their spiritual power compared to what we got, armor of God. Okay, they're nothing. It's been said. It's said in the Bible that once Satan is exposed for what he really is, when we see the true nature of his being, his essence, it's going to be so poor, so paltry. It's going to be laughable. It's going to be something that can be mocked. And that's the same way with these characters. And I'm not going to say anything about any specific member of the royal family, but I will say this: if they're so powerful, what about King Charles I? How many people know about King Charles I? Don't cheat and go looking it up on the internet. What happened to him? The king did not look real, Carol says. And Georgia says that they have zero authority. That's right. They get their power by linking arms in their fraud, in their theatrics. Hi, Gary, how are you? It's been a while, yeah. And that made me think too, where the saying that says we're watching a show. I think there's a little more to that saying, and I'm just starting to see it. As far as a drop on the board, if you know what I mean, that specific letter. I know what they mean by that now. That what we've been dealing with is this masquerade by these clowns. They're the ones that are putting on the show. They're the ones who are putting forth a con, defrauding us over decades. And people that want to join that group and think they're going to be on a higher part of society, and the little peonies like us, don't matter. They learn the script. They learn their lines. They learn their acting ability, all from the same bunch. And you look at these people that we call liberal now. Back in the day, they wouldn't be called liberal, but it is not the Democrat Party of old. It's a radical group that's taken over the traditional Democrat Party, like the party of JFK, the party of Hubert Humphrey, men of honor, happy warriors. So what it has been replaced with are people who are trained to con us through fear and intimidation, con us out of our right to our resources. The most recent one is the gas stove business. In the past, it was we're going to use up all the fossil fuels and we're going to warm the world. And cows are breaking wind, and we got to get rid of cows. We got to eat bugs. It's all designed to control us. And I heard a quote attributed to Henry Kissinger: the most effective aphrodisiac is power. Power. And what do people conflate power with? People who aren't thinking spiritually. They're thinking of earthly things. They're thinking of material things. Power is the ability to control others or have others do things for you. Now, none of it can touch the power of Christ, which entertains none of that. None of that. His message is to the human spirit and to eternal life and to the glory of God, not these earthly things. And so this club, this big club George Carlin was talking about that we ain't in, it's a big club and we ain't in it. They've honed down these methods of, gee, you need me because of this threat and that threat that I'll protect you from, or I'm going to help. Like these bills they put forth, like the one in Brazil, protect the children, and they're using that to try to take Bolsonaro's 12-year-old daughter and force a medical procedure on her. Okay. Whoa, my screen froze up. I hope I've been broadcasting. Hilarious too. How you doing? John, Zodiac, how are you? Cheryl. Linda Marie, what are you talking about? One word there. Let me see. They are actors on a stage, Joy says. Their every move had been practiced prior to our viewing. Well, it is an art. Being a con artist, that's the term. Artists, con artists. And that's what they are, and they're laughable. I tell you, the only one that got it was that I saw in modern discussions about what's going on politically was Viva Frei. He brought up the you break it up into two words. False is the first one, and the second one is flag. Operation just prior to the invasion of Poland, sparking World War II, was a staged raid on a radio station, and the burning of the Reichstag and things that was all theater. It was all planned out. It was all meant to spook and scare people, and for them to gain that aphrodisiac power. So we're seeing a lot of that now. Yeah, the Grim Reaper, like I was saying, that those optics, and that brief few seconds, that person walking across looking creepy. There's no denying. Ever since Princess Di, her accident of the bridge, that the monarchy has a stain on it. Has a stain on it. And Cheryl says, "Are we almost done?" Well, I tell you, Cheryl, one thing I was going to talk about last night, Mr. T told us that the American people have not felt it yet, but they're going to feel it. And things are going to get worse. Things are going to get worse. Okay. Hi, Bobcat. How are you doing? As always, me. How are you? So, no, we don't know. We don't know how long this is going to go on. And I broadcast almost a month straight because I thought something was going to happen. Now we know this business. We've been keeping track of resignations and people stepping down. We were told that's going to accelerate, and that's been happening. Miss Benderson can't wait to get her new gas stove. Hi, Nora. How are you doing? Cooking with gas, that's good. Yeah. That's a way to cook. Let me see. But anyway, I'll tell you something about that Grim Reaper character. That could have been. Do you remember when Trump came out during the first Republican National Convention? That was in 2016. Yeah, all smoke. You see the white light and smoke, and then you see his silhouette come through the smoke, and then there he is. But before he passed through, all you saw was a silhouette. He looked like a black silhouette. That's what he looked like. And then when he got on the other side, the smoke and into the light, you saw it was Donald Trump, and I think he was wearing a blue suit. So that person walking through there, it could be anything from during these coronation rituals, you have people dressed like they dressed in the 1600s, 1700s, and they got their little canes and staffs and their own little weird looking hats and ruffled collars and capes. And, that could have been somebody in one of those outfits walking by just on the other side where they looked like Donald Trump looked before he walked on stage, a dark silhouette. It could be something that simple. But that's what drove me to the opening point when I started talking about these people, not to be spiritually afraid of them, not to think that they have some kind of dark power. I know it was the 6th month, the 6th week, and the 6th day from Queen Elizabeth's passing that they put the crown on Charles, right? And we all know those numbers, what that stands for. Nothing nice. But then again, we don't know what their rituals for the past 800 years or whatever of doing coronations and why they pick these dates. And it could be something as simple as that person could have been for the coronation ceremony. That person could have been a representation of death. And them walking slowly away, that could be, now we're crowning a new king. Death is leaving the castle, leaving the monarchy. And you've heard it. We've all heard it in the movies. We've heard it time and time again. The king is dead. Long live the king. Lord, in this case, the queen is dead. Long live the king. So that could be a ritualistic symbol of when they crown a new monarch, that death is leaving the monarchy, and you have a new king. So, and there was a story I was watching a video on last month about a person, a diplomat from Japan, visiting Europe in the 1800s. And this is just to give you an idea of uh, how other people perceive things. We don't really understand cultures that are far away, what they see of our culture and what they think of our culture, our rituals, our way of doing things. He wrote home, and I don't know if he ever changed his mind or educated himself more on it, but he was amazed. He said, these people here in Europe worship a uh, a figure. How do you put it? Of a naked criminal hanging on a cross. That was his understanding of what the crucifix was. And that's what he wrote home. Thousands of miles away, no internet, no mail service. This was when Japan was a closed culture and people were just starting to interact I believe it was the 1850s, before even the Civil War. And they said, you wouldn't believe it. They worship a naked criminal who was nailed to a cross. And so we see something like this person walking by, and we don't know why he was dark like that figurine. And I already talked about Trump being a dark silhouette, then coming out, hey, and it was a really cool entrance, 2016. So we really don't know, but stories like what happened with Princess Di drive our minds towards a distrust of the monarchy. This New World Order talk that a lot of normal people are starting to talk about now. A lot of normal people saying, questioning the thing in the shoulder. Twitter's opened up. So that is cascading into other ears being able to hear and eyes being able to see. The right to perceive. People are being able to perceive this business of the woman who resigned, what's her name, Wojcinski or Walensky or whatever her name was. All these things are growing and building, but the stain on the monarchy was the death of Princess Di, and they can't rub it out. Out damn spot. That was from Macbeth, right? Shakespeare, Macbeth. They can't get that stain off them. And this dark figure going through, it might have been totally innocent, totally accidental. Just a person might have been in a very colorful outfit, of a very colorful cape and everything, but the lighting could have been such that he was just a black silhouette, and that's getting shown all over the place. That's going to spark conversation. And then you saw that short clip about Princess Di. Do you think you'll ever be queen? And she said no. And she half laughed, And a quick synopsis of what she said was, I don't play by their rules, and I get in trouble for that. But I think somebody's got to go out and love the people. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a queen in the people's hearts. And people are starting to see that. And people that never even knew she existed or don't even know the story, they're going to be interested and they're going to find out. And that stain's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So let me see. Oh gosh, I'm way behind chats. So anyway, I didn't mean that to bring that Japanese diplomat's comment up in any way, of course, to upset anybody. But I'm just showing, when you don't understand what's happening and you only see a little bit of what's happening, or you see one symbol of a galactic faith, such as Christianity, you see that one symbol and don't have anybody to explain it to you, except that he was tried by the Romans. Pontius Pilate and they crucified him, and that's who we worship. And he thinks, oh, it's a criminal, you know. And why would they worship a criminal? Because they had a limited perception, the ability to see what was going on. He was only there for a short time. Like I said, I don't know if he learned anything. He may have converted to Christianity 10 years after that letter. I don't know. But we saw one person walk by. He might have been the person that, had to carry out Prince Charles's chamber pot, for all we know. And he just got caught in what we always say is a bad light. But anyway, as far as waking up other people and then learning about Princess Di and people instinctually having a dark view of the monarchy, that's all important. But the thing I want to also reiterate is avoid attributing any kind of spiritual power to these clowns. And we're going to break up this big club that we're not a part of, okay? That's what this is all about. And we're going to break this control. We're going to realize we're not going to be conned anymore with the stove business. We're going to be getting an overhaul of higher learning, such as Mr. T said in one of his presentations on Forbes on YouTube, that we're going to clean out the Marxists. As I said in many broadcasts ago, one of the first signs of a communist is they're nosy. They want to know other people's business. And then once they know other people's business, they want to tell people what to do and how to conduct their own business when they can't run their own business. They can't handle their own affairs. So that's what we've got. We got this insidious Marxist philosophy that's in every meaningful facet of our society. And when you get into the higher learning and we clean the Marxists and communists out from there, we're going to be getting rid of these, quote, scientists that all agree. Just like when Al Gore was blabbing in the late 90s, we have 10 years because the earth has a fever. All these scientists agree. Yeah, a bunch of communists and Marxists out of Yale and Harvard and Columbia and the usual suspects. Sure, they all agree because they want to deny us access to our resources. They want to control us. They want the 15-minute cities. They want the lab-grown meat. So there won't be need for a slaughterhouse. They worry more about how a chicken gets processed to go in the pot. They worry more about that chicken's life than they do human life. And I always tell people, if they don't believe me, just open up the dumpster behind a Planned Parenthood, take a look inside, tell me what you think of that. The do-gooders, they want to protect every form of life except human life. Oh my gosh, Georgia, let's hope that's not the truth. Oh my word. I live in a small town. They got their own butcher place. Farmers take their cows there. I don't think I've had any of that. Oh, Miss Brenda Sue, you've got some optimistic thinking. I'll put it that way, optimistic. That's right, Jamie. James, they bought off. More have been bought off, and we clean that out. We're going to be finding out a lot of things, especially about medicine. Let's see. When the chaos comes, the Lord shall pass over our home, and harm will not touch us. Yeah, that's like one of my earlier streams. I was begging people, if the glorious day does come when we get that uh, message on Twitter, the storm is upon us, uh, and we have righteous young people with the military coming through and cleaning them out. We got to do our part and make sure we've got what we need to survive and not be a burden and not expose ourselves to danger. So, we can stay in our homes, and the Lord shall pass over our home, and harm will not come to us. Now, we can go out looking for trouble, and like that judge said, we're looking for trouble, and baby, you found it. Don't do it, because we have an excellent military, and this stuff is being planned out. Our job is to light the torches, to light the light, to get the word out. We're digital soldiers. Every one of you in the chats. Me, you, everybody else, how we talk to our friends. That's why when I ask people, oh my goodness, and before I got blocked, I said, hey, if you were at a rally and you had a chance to ask Mr. T a question, what would it be? And a lot of them were good questions, but some of them made me a little nervous. I mean, come on, if you were in a historic situation where you could ask Donald Trump right now on television in front of the world, come on now, would you sit there and say, hey, okay, when's the lies going to stop? When are we going to go get the lizard people? If you know anybody that thinks that way, have a talk with them. Tell them don't go to a rally and don't ask Donald Trump any questions. That's the stuff we got to avoid. Like with the discussion with the preacher last night. Who was? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, I said, ask the preacher. Does he think there's a spiritual war going on right now? Couldn't ask him about end times or the rapture, because he'll answer correctly. He should answer correctly that no one knows the day and the hour. Nobody. Hi, what? How are you? You don't see Trump ever coming back to too many coming across the border. Oh boy, I'm sure they do love Biden. Well, I tell you, this attack on the Supreme Court, I'm gonna tell you, that might be the biggest backfire, the biggest boomerang they've thrown. Because if they show that the Congress is ineffective to enforce the Constitution, that the presidency has been infiltrated and can't enforce the laws and the Constitution, and they go ahead and attack the Supreme Court with the notion that the Supreme Court's corrupted, and that's what the left's been doing. And the right has been coming back, oh, now wait a minute, how about your justices? What's that proving? That all three branches of government are paralyzed for whatever reason, and the Constitution is out in the cold. By their own admissions, their own actions, their own statements, they're showing that the Constitution cannot be enforced and protected. That's what's got to be shown before there's action taken by our parallel system of justice called military justice. And I said, when they started talking this business about charging Trump with sedition. They're talking the military's bailiwick. That's what they're talking about. So they're driving themselves into a corner. That's right, Georgia. They must come in at that point when all three branches are ineffective. And that's where we keep our minds looking at the realities of what is happening in our Congress, what is being done in our Supreme Court and to our Supreme Court, and what's being shown with the presidency. Tomorrow, we're going to get a lot of information from the branch of government, one branch, Congress, about another branch, the executive, about criminal acts. Okay? And somebody's got to do something. This is a matter, what's going to be shown is a matter of national security, national importance. And okay, so we got the courts, and they want to chip away at that. They're going to open the door for the military to do something. They will have to do something. And I keep thinking it is so close because of a number of things, but one of them is Bolsonaro's going back and exposing himself to the possibility of being arrested. And them talking about actually coming and getting his daughter. I mean, oh man, that's going to be a problem. That's going to spark, something's going to spark. So they're going to be coming to our neighborhood, Watt says. You don't, in Alaska, Gary, you live in Alaska, you don't have too many of them heading that way, do you? As far as border crowd, border jumpers. That's what Watt says, you're only saved for last. They're going to come to your neighborhood. Well, hey, we're going to stop before then. We're going to stop them before then. So anyway, we focus on these realities. All these senators, all these House representatives, they're only people. And there's no power and mystique about them. And we've got to look at the royals the same way. And we've got to look at these characters that are with the New World Order. They do not have any spiritual power. They are, as I was talking about last night, they are reprobate. Okay, there's nothing good left in them to draw out. Reprobate silver. And so don't give yourself any cringes over that bunch. We're going to expose them for how pitiful they are and how ineffective they are. Now, one article I didn't get a chance to read the other day was the EU, the European Union, backs Dutch scheme to forcibly shut down thousands of farms, ban farmers from returning to agriculture forever. So I did a video about the riots over there. Like I said, when you get the Dutch fired up, you've done something. They're peaceable people. And this is making worldwide headlines and getting people to think about this NWO business. And when you attack industry and a group of people like farmers, with the power of government, take their land, shut them down? What are you talking about? It's like the old saying used to be, never criticize a farmer with your mouth full. But I'm just reading the chats here. You're right, Georgia. Take precautions, keep your family close. Because something's going to happen. I mean, Trump has said, I'm not saying something's going to happen like the military step in, mass arrests, military justice right now, tomorrow. No, I'm not saying that. But Trump is letting us know that there's going to be World War III if somebody doesn't do something about it, and that the Americans are going to suffer greatly. We haven't suffered enough. So, something's going to happen. And we can start with the slow squeeze that's going to come. It's coming around the corner. Gas prices. They're what? I don't know how much it is in y'all's territory, but gas is still high. And they have stopped taking from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. What's that mean? Summer driving's coming. Gas is going to go through the roof. That's going to be one of the first salvos. Whoa. I'm trying to see what else I've got here in my studio. So anyway, what they're doing to duck farmers is waking a lot of people up. And I saw an article about a judge who gave somebody a bond after a mass bang, right? And the article says, judge who gave bond to man arrested after Meadow Lake mass bang will not be reappointed. Senator John Scott confirmed to WIS TV he would not be reappointing the judge named Derrick to another 4-year term. So that's a judge that's out, and I saw a picture of her. She looked like her hair's kind of purplish or grayish purple. I don't know. It's weird looking. State senators are responsible for appointing magistrate judges for the counties in their district. Scott is in charge of appointing Derrick's judgeship and said all of his magistrate terms were up on April 30th. They are still on bench on carryover status. But this judge gave an 18-year-old, and I if I get the name wrong, I'm sorry, but I didn't name the kid. Taquan Kelly a $10,000 bond after Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott said he was seen with another man dumping a weapon from a car while speeding away from Meadow Lake Park with their lights off. So, and she gave him a bond. Now she's gone. 9 people were shot and 2 others were injured in a shooting that happened during an after-prom party on April 29th. At least 4 high school students were among those injured. Yeah, give him a bond. Give Taquan a bond. Quote, I don't want to make this case a standalone case, Scott said. I want to look at all of what's going on in Richland County and the school district we have and start to work with all the school districts to figure out what's going on with our young people. Well, we know what's going on with our young people, especially in these public schools. Saturday was the third time since March that Kelly had been given a bond after being brought into the Alvin S. Green Detention Center on weapons charges. The third time he got bonded out on 3 other charges. He was already given a $50,000 bond by the same judge after being arrested on April 16th on a weapons charge. And he got out, and then he was involved in this mass shooting. An arrest warrant from that date alleges he had held a pistol to a woman's head and threatened to KILL her while she called 911 asking for help. Boy. Yeah, no one's going to miss her. That's right, Georgia. We're going to be ready for who the heck knows. Make sure you got food to eat. You know, I've got a wood stove and I've got wood. I know we don't need it now, but we don't know when this thing is going to pop off. So have yourself enough resources where you're not a burden and not, you got, if you need medicine, if you need certain things, you know, everybody needs food, everybody needs water. Okay, I'm just looking through here. Will be the 11th day trying to get Job to be head of the ATF, saying if he gets Job, he would make it illegal to have armed guards in the public schools. That's not going to be up to him. He doesn't pass laws. The ATF does not pass laws. They try to run around and aggravate people with their regulations. Regulations are not laws. B-Dog's got a garden going. That's good. And then we got this activist saying Bud Light will be, quote, extinct in a few years for disavowing Dylan Mulvaney. So they're flipping it around saying that the problem that Bud Light has is the people who are not wanting to be associated with Dylan Mulvaney. If they would just be accepting of him, Bud Light would be fine. And since they're being this way, Bud Light will be extinct because of the haters. You know, so there's some twisted logic for you. So, like I said, they're showing how ridiculous they are, how paltry their way of thinking is. And then just above that news flash was a billionaire businessman wants to build a 5-star luxury resort on Jeffrey Epstein's islands. A 5-star luxury resort. And that was in Fortune magazine. Well, I think he's going to have to wait till they jackhammer all that concrete out and get down there and see what was going on in that place. But they probably got enough stuff on video and his own cameras that they don't need to go through all that. Unless they want to recover remains. That's right. They try to blame the consumer, Nikki said. That's right. Now, with this sedition charge they're trying to drum up against Trump, you heard that they got 8, and all the news agencies are calling them fake electors. Okay. What I'm talking about fraud. I'm talking about how they put on this masquerade, this show, pretending they have all the spiritual and psychological power, scientific knowledge, like Al Gore, and it's all a joke. It's all phony. Well, that's the same as what's going on in this Georgia bill. Like this is the first time ever we've been in a dispute over that. Can anybody remember Bush v. Gore and hanging Chad and taking Chad? Oh, they're going to criminalize that. And the news agencies, all on that rehearsed mockingbird mantra. Quote, fake electors. At least 8 of the Republican fake electors in Georgia have accepted immunity to deals in an ongoing criminal investigation into efforts by Donald J. Trump and his allies to overturn the 2020 election there, according to a new court filing. And this Fani Willis, she's one of the notorious 4 prosecutors that are after Trump right now. They had previously notified all 16 GOP fake electors in Georgia that they were targets in her investigation. Last month, Willis offered immunity deals to several of the Republicans who served as pro-Trump electors and said they accepted according to the filing. Oh, you're going to give me immunity for a non-crime? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that. The newly secured cooperators, now they're called cooperators, could offer insights into a key prong of Willis's sprawling investigation into election interference. The attempts to put forward alternate slates of electors to block the certification of the 2020 presidential vote and the role Trump's allies played in organizing the efforts. But you see, Trump, he could care less. He's going to be at an event. What is it, Iowa? Let me see. He's going to be in Iowa. Is it tomorrow? My gosh, I got so many different stories, and they're hard to read, but Des Moines, Iowa, this Saturday, Mr. T's heading to Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm going to watch him. Unlike Joe Biden, I protected Iowa's first in the nation caucuses and always will. Every promise I made to the people of Iowa, I fulfill as your president, and even beyond my promises, I got farmers $28 billion from China, money that was unthinkable by anybody else. So, yeah, if he's got all these investigations and charges. How many times do you hear him say, "Oh, you can't leave. Oh, you got to be on house arrest"? Or they let him try that with DJT. That might be the triggering moment. And then Fox News, they're trying to recover from this Tucker Carlson business. Now they're putting out good stories though, but they say their viewership dropped by 35%. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. But like I said the other night, they're not going to these other places. It's not benefiting CNN. Their views are dropping. MSDNC, their stuff's all dropping. Where are people going? The internet. They're going to shows like where I'm thinking is going to be Tucker Carlson on the internet. Word is that he's going to host. He's got in the works hosting a Republican debate. That he'll do the debates. Now, what he should do is offer to host the Democrat debates. Of course, they've already said the Democrat Party is not going to support a primary process, trying to knock Kennedy out of there. But if they could get some way to get Kennedy to call out Joe for debate, boy, that would be something for Tucker to handle. But this one story I saw out of many from Fox News, Clinton pollster sounds the alarm. This is a potential Titanic, namely the Biden presidency, the Biden campaign. He's down to 35%. And then the one poll that came out that said 80% overall, 80% of Americans think Trump was treated unfairly by Bragg. Yep, Gary says redacted is a good one to visit. There's a lot of places people are starting to look to now because they just don't want to take their time and spend it with the regurgitated stuff from CNN. And I'll tell you something else I found interesting. Chris Cuomo is on News Nation. And News Nation put up that clip of that woman screaming and showing herself to be a complete demonic fool. And I said I wouldn't play it because it's just annoying. And he also, so you have News Nation putting that up there. And I think that Megyn Kelly has been making comments on News Nation. Now you got Chris Cuomo is on that show, and he interviewed somebody. I watched a clip of that where he tried the usual Democrat talking points, and the guest it was a lady that just chewed him up and spit him out, and he really looked foolish. And I think he's being made to sit there and have to take that. So News Nation might be playing a little game that in the long run is going to serve us well. But there are people that are just sick of the old hat stuff, and they're checking out different sites. Yeah, Elon Musk, and they were talking about doing something on Twitter. I'm a good news source too. Mike said, that's right. Real America Voice. Well, there's a whole lot of them out there to choose from. That's great. I mean, and then there's just people you can follow on Twitter, like a man of memes. He put out Democrats quash a bill for tuition assistance for children of veterans killed in battle. Then they approve giving illegals free tuition. On Election Day, this is all you need to know. So sharing memes like that is very important, especially with our so-called normies. If that's the real Chris Cuomo, that's right. I think it's the real one. The brother is the one being sued for the deaths in the nursing home, and he's going to be in big trouble. The governor, But anyway, folks, I'm coming up on my hour, and I want to thank you all for spending your precious time with me again tonight. And I'll be going live again soon. I'll be trying to multi-stream on Rumble. I'll be trying to work that out. I'll keep you all posted on that. And until we meet again, this is Mountain Man, over and out.